Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really exciting video to share with you all. This is a review, demo, first impressions on a brand new product that isn't even released yet. And it is on the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. Now I'm really excited to be bringing you guys this little review. I ordered this about 2 weeks ago, so I've had it and I've played with it for a little while. I was going to do a first impressions right away, but I wanted to gather up my thoughts a little bit and actually wear it for a few days. Finally done that, and now I think I'm ready to bring you all my thoughts and just a little review and pretty much the bottom line, whether it's worth it or not. And I think most people want to know how this compares to the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. So this palette retails for $45, which falls in line with all the other contour palettes, Anastasia and Kat Von D, so I thought that was okay. I thought it was a fair price. So when I received the palette in the mail, it came in this little typical plastic Lorac box with the spotlights, and it says Lorac Pro Contour Palette and Pro Contour Brush. Yes, the brush is included with this palette. You don't have to separately buy it. You don't have to pay extra money for it. You don't have to go out and find your own contour brush. They include one in here. So I thought that was awesome of Lorac to do, because you guys know Kat Von D has her contour brush, but it is a separate purchase. It does not come with the Shade and Light contour. And on the top it also says Pro Contour Brush plus instruction booklet included. So you do get the brush and you do get an instruction booklet. And I know you guys are probably thinking, okay, who cares? Like, a booklet comes with every palette, eyeshadow palette, contour palette, whatever. But I actually thought the booklet that this one came with was really useful. It shows you how to contour your face for different shapes, if you have an oval, square, apple, heart, and whatever. And it shows you which powders to use and how to apply them to each section of your face. Like, this page is about the under eye area, and it shows you to put it in the triangle shape, and it actually tells you how to use the brush, because Lorac claims that you can use this one brush for every single powder that comes in the palette for every single area of your face. So that means your under eye highlight, your cheek contour, your forehead, your jawline, all of that just with this one brush. So those are really big claims from Lorac. But the book actually tells you how to use it, because if you see the brush, it has a little dome top. It reminds me a lot of the NARS Ita, but this one is domed and it's not cut off directly. And then it has flat edges on each side. So like, this is flat, and then this is the dome side. So Lorac will say to use the dome side for your cheek and then use the flat side for your under eye highlight, to just press it on there. So I thought that was interesting, and I did try it out a few times using the brush the way the Lorac booklet said to use it. Now before I go into the palette and the powders and how they applied and how I use them, I will say that in this demo I am not using this brush. I tried to use this brush about 4 or 5 times and I am not a fan. This brush just didn't blend for me. It wasn't nice. I thought I looked muddy. I thought it looked cakey. It just wasn't good at all. It left my cheeks looking very like streak mark like, and I did not like it. I even filmed this video already 3 times. This is my 4th time filming this video, because I wanted to use this in the demo and show you guys how to use the brush with the palette. But it was looking so muddy and streaky on camera that I didn't want to deter you guys from the actual product just because of the brush wasn't blending well on my face. I don't know if you like the NARS Ita, you might like this one, but I'm not a fan of brushes like that to contour. The one good thing is that this brush does come in the palette. You're not paying extra money, you're not going out of your way for it. But on to the palette. I know that's what everybody's waiting for. So when you open it up, it has 6 colors. You see the top, it has this light color right here, which is called beige highlight, this yellowy color, which is called yellow highlight, really self-explanatory, and then this big one at the end is actually called shimmer highlight. It is actually a shimmer cheekbone highlight. And to be completely honest, when I first opened this palette and took it out the box and saw that this big space was a shimmer highlight, I was so disappointed. They took a whole space for a shimmery highlight. I just wanted 3 matte highlights for my under eyes and that's it. But when I actually use this highlight, I quickly bit my tongue, because this highlight is actually really good, so I can't wait to start talking about it. And then on the bottom you have the contour shades. This is light contour, deep contour, and medium contour. They put medium contour on the end in the biggest pan, I think just because it'll probably be more suitable for more skin tones. So the first thing that I want to get out the way about this palette is that If you have the Lorac Pro eyeshadow palettes, you know as soon as you put your brush into one of those eyeshadows, there is so much kick up from the powder. And that's just because they're so pigmented, it's so creamy and so buttery that as soon as you swirl your brush into there, there's like so much powder residue left over. That really doesn't bother me. It tends to get a little messy, but it doesn't bother me. And this is exactly the way this contour palette is. As soon as you dip your brush into there, you're gonna see so much residue left in the pan. So the first color that I want to talk about is this one right here, which is Beige Highlight, the first one on the row of highlight shades. And as soon as I saw that one and swatched it, I knew I was going to love it. It's a really kind of neutrally, kind of cool tone, not too cool tone, beige shade. It almost reminds me of the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, the all over setting powder. It's not yellow, but it's not white. It's just a nice beige shade. And I really like that because I feel like Kat Von D's lightest under eye shade in her Shade and Light palette is a little too light for me. It comes up looking very, very stark. I feel like I always would have to mix it with her yellow shade. It's awesome for lightening and brightening your under eye, especially if you're fair. I'm sure you would like that one. And then you have Yellow Highlight. And I like this one because it's not really bright yellow. This, in comparison to the Kat Von D yellow one, I feel like the Kat Von D one is a lot darker and a more intense yellow. This one is just a nice pale yellow shade. Booklet actually says to mix these two if you want to create like a customizable under eye brightening shade, and I did that. You can see in the demo, and I really like the way that it came out when you mix these two because it's not too yellow, but it's not too stark white. It's just such a nice brightening effect for your under eyes, and I really liked it. So after I applied those under eye highlighting shades, I went to contour my face. Now, I started off with light contour, and the brush that I use for that is my Ride or Die contour brush. This is a Sedona Lace FB01 brush. I love this brush for contouring. It is the best that I have ever used. So I used that, and I started off with light contour. And the first time I used it, it really took me by surprise how pigmented it was. If you have the Kat Von D one, you know you can go in with light contour, and it's not too dark on your skin. This one is more on the warm side, and I feel like the Kat Von D one is a little lighter too. They look similar in swatches, but I feel like because it's cooler, it tends to be a little lighter on your skin. This had amazing pigmentation, like to the point where I put it on and I was like, whoa, I was kind of taken aback how dark it was on my skin. I'm like an NC25, and this really contoured my cheekbones. I was really surprised. I also use light contour all along my forehead. I really like contouring my forehead a lot because I feel like I have a big head, so I want to shrink it in a little bit. So I went ahead and used that, and then I took medium contour and started buffing it on my forehead as well, just for extra contour on my forehead. This one really took me by surprise. It's very dark. I put it on my forehead first so I can get the excess off on my forehead because I do like a very contoured forehead, and then I put whatever was left on my brush on my cheekbones. I don't feel like I can go right in with this on a brush onto my cheekbones. I feel like it would look way too dark for me. Kat Von D's middle shade, I think it's Shadow Play, that medium contour from the Kat Von D Shade and Light one is lighter than this one. It's similar in tone, but it's just lighter. This one is very dark to me. They don't look dark in the pan, but the way they come up, because they're so like creamy and pigmented and buttery, like they lay on a lot of color on your skin. Now with deep contour, I have not yet touched deep contour at all. I have swatched it, but I haven't put it on my face because it is very pigmented. I think it's awesome that they put this in here for deeper skin complexion girls because this will be the perfect contour. It's very neutral, and I think it would give you a natural contour if you're like an NC45 and above. It's so nice, but for me, I didn't want to put it on because I was a little scared of looking a little too muddy or too streaky on my cheekbones, so I just didn't use that. But always remember that this is just a matte brown shade. You can pop it in your eye crease and have a new eyeshadow, so it's not like it's gonna go to waste. So now on to the shimmer highlight. This really caught me by surprise. I was not expecting to like it, and when I tried it out for the first time, I was so blown away. This is a very frosted highlight, and I know that term can kind of scare people away, but it's so shimmery and it's just so bright and like white shimmery. It is a little more on the like pinkier side of things. It's not a gold highlight at all. It's not a champagne highlight. It's almost like white with a little bit of pinky in it, but it's so bright and shimmery. I literally swatched this next to like Kevyn Aucoin Candlelight, Whisper of Guilt, Moonstone by Becca, Mary Luminizer by The Balm, and this like outshined all of them because it's so bright. If you like a gold highlight, you're probably not gonna like this one, as I know a lot of people do like more on the goldy side, Whisper of Guilt type thing. This isn't, but it's so beautiful. I really like it. It's on my cheekbones right now, and it's all I have on my cheekbones. It just lays on really nice. It's super luminous. It looks very wet, but still natural. Like, it looks like if I'm just turning my face, that the light is just hitting me in such a way that I'm just like glowing, like in your face glowing. So that really surprised me, and I really like it. So when it really comes down to it, I think the question most people are going to want to know is, should I invest into another contour palette? If I already have the Kat Von D one, should I go ahead and purchase this one? If I've never had a high-end contour palette, which one should I get? And honestly, okay, so in terms of the biggest contour palettes, it's Anastasia, Kat Von D, and then this one's the newest to the market that I think is getting a lot of hype. And Anastasia is at the bottom of the barrel for me. No offense, I like her other products, but that contour palette seemed like it was just pure hype to me. It was like the first one on the market and everybody was super hype on it, but that is the most unblendable, chalky, patchy, non-lasting, it made me break out, it's just no pigment to it contour kit. No offense, but if you don't have contour kits, please look over the Anastasia one and don't waste your money because it's not a good one. And then I think the second runner-up is gonna be this Lorac one. I really like these highlight shades more than Kat Von D's highlight shades. I would reach for these quicker than those. Sometimes I feel like when I put Kat Von D's on, her yellow one is just a little too dark for my under eyes and it makes me look silly, like I have yellow under my under eyes and it doesn't look flattering. And then her lightest one is just a little too light and I don't like it. It makes me look stark, and I don't know, they just don't really sit well under my eyes. I know a lot of people love them, but just personally for me, I don't really like them. They're good, but sometimes I just stray away from those and go ahead and use something else. Now that I have this one, I'll be going ahead and using beige and yellow mixed together for my under eyes because I really like the effect that it gives. And for contour, these are very pigmented, and I know that's nothing to complain about, but they're so pigmented that when you dip your brush into them and lay them on your face, I feel like they can look a little harsh. Like, with the Kat Von D one, I feel like I can dip my brush into those contour shades and go ahead and buff it out and it looks beautiful and airbrushed, and I can do it with my eyes closed because they just blend so well and sit so nice on the skin. With this one, I feel like I had to take the powder on my brush and put it on and really buff it out and watch what I was doing because it's so pigmented that it almost leaves like a streak mark if you're not careful, and nobody wants that. So they're good, but I feel like Kat Von D's contour shades are better. So it's Anastasia, Lorac, and then Kat Von D. I feel like when it comes down to it, it's the contour shades that everybody's worried about. And Kat Von D's definitely reign supreme. Everybody's worried about contouring their cheeks and making their cheeks look on point. I feel like Kat Von D's does that, and it's beginner friendly, but it's also just good. Like, it just blends well, it's creamy, it's pigmented. This one is good too, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this one is bad, but if I had to choose between the two and if I had to give my personal recommendation, it would be to get the Kat Von D one. I'm a makeup junkie, like I said before, and I wanted this and I got it, and I'm not mad that I have it. I found some great under eye highlight shades and a really nice shimmer highlight, but I still want to reach for my Kat Von D contour shades. I hope this review was helpful to you all. If you did pick this up during the pre-launch, please let me know how you like it. I'd be really interested to hear somebody else's thoughts. And also, if you are planning to get a new contour palette, let me know which one you think you're going to do. Are you going to go with the new Lorac Pro Contour Palette? Or are you going to stick to the Kat Von D Shade and Light? Or maybe you're going to go for a different one. Let me know down below. You know, I always reply to your guys' comments, so talk to me down there, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.